Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as I fight the Epizootie for the second time this year. Never does come at a good time, but this is a busy weekend. As I've told people, there will be more people, deer hunters or Arkansas duck hunters, in the woods of the Blinds today and tomorrow than the capacity of Neyland Stadium at the University of Tennessee. And that's no, I'm not just waxing it there. Every sausage and biscuit in the world will be sold this weekend, I can tell you that. And people will make their livelihood. And who better to talk about as we get into the waterfowl season here is a young man who's been first part of the Cabela's family for quite a few years, and now he is with sales and marketing director for Kent Cartridge, and it's Jeff Berry. Good morning, Jeff.
Hey, good morning, Larry. How are you?
Let's talk ammunition, buddy. I can tell you what, when I started this journey many years ago, you know, I'm not sure. Well, I know it was well before 1977. I can tell you that when you guys kicked into business and became that, there was only about maybe one or two shotgun companies that I used. I won't mention their names now, but you guys have taken a really step with your products. In fact, we were going to talk, as I told Jeff earlier, we was going to talk about their new bismuth, but they're already sold out, so let's just skip that for a while until they get more in. But the fast steel and other products coming out of Kent. So let's talk a bit about the evolution of the ammunition business for waterfowl. I'd like to really talk, because we're getting into specifics now that it almost takes a rocket scientist almost to figure out your precision steel pellets and your velocities are up 16, 25 FPSs and all those different kind of things. Tell me what makes Kent good.
What makes Kent good is the consistency of what we load our products to.
Okay.
We're committed to quality. The company started in 1997 with sportsmen, just like everyone listening on the radio today, who were dissatisfied with the steel shot shells on the market at the time. They got together, pooled their resources, and decided to make products that took it a step further, took it up the quality. First product was a product designed to mimic lead, yet be completely non-toxic. It's called our Tungsten Matrix product.
Yes.
We have that in our line. Our Kent Fast Steel, which is our bread and butter product, came on a few years later. And our founders of the company realized the only way to improve the effectiveness of steel shot was to maximize the velocities. And what we do, what makes Kent special, is our loads hit those velocities across the entire temperature spectrum, whether it's cold out, whether it's mild, or whether it's warm. Our steel shot shells are going to hit those high velocities and deliver outstanding patterns no matter what the conditions. That's the way it's always been since day one at Kent, and really it's kind of the secret to our success is our consistency.
And you look for that. I know each year, you know, there are a lot of ammunitions out there. Let's just be blunt about this. There's a lot of companies out there that have been around a lot longer than Kent has been around. But you guys have taken that, and what I was really interested in is one of these from your some of your non-toxic waterfowl, 24% greater density. Now, when we talk about than steel, that's bismuth. Now, we talk about that and the density, and why is that so important?
Well, it gives you greater retained velocity
yes,
and energy and reduced wind drift.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what density gives you compared to steel shot. And bismuth, which is a product that we introduced this year or rebranded this year, is almost as dense as lead. So folks who've been shooting steel from day one, they're going to see a performance upgrade with the retained velocity and energy and reduced wind drift. And folks who remember what it was like shooting lead at waterfowl prior to the mid-1980s will almost go back in time with the performance that bismuth gives you.
And if you said you've oversold your projections on new bismuth?
Yes, beyond our expectations this year, and we experienced great adoption at the retail level, and it's flying off the shelves.
Yeah.
And completely, we're in a back order situation right now for retailers wanting to reorder from us. So we really appreciate our retailers stepping up to the plate and supporting us. But it's getting well received in the marketplace. A long story short, we had bismuth on the market for the past 2 years in 10-round boxes. We rebranded it in a 25-round box and told the performance story, and it just exploded beyond our wildest expectations this year.
And also, your new steel will be introduced in January. What about that?
Yeah. So we've got a new steel product coming out in January we'll roll out the details. But if folks are happy with our fast steel line, they're going to be really happy with what we're going to be introducing here in January for delivery in 2019. It's we're putting some technology into our product that's going to ensure functioning in semi-auto firearms, even with high pressure, high speed loads.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of guns introduced into the market, Larry, in the last few years, and the technology in the ammo hasn't really kept up with the cycling rate of some of these firearms that are on the market, and so we're doing some things to improve that.
Well, I've used your Ultimate Turkey, okay?
Yes.
And I like it, okay? For an old man, still turkey hunts right now. You know, I know when I shoot that I'm not going to be wasting ammunition because there's nothing like it to have out there. And I've used your Dove. I've also used your Steel Dove and your Diamond Dove.
Oh, perfect.
I ought to be getting some kind of discount after all these years.
Heck yeah. We like that kind of behavior, Larry. That you just named some really good loads.
I know I did.
That we produce that is top-notch quality for the money.
And a lot of folks wonder, and I've been brought up in Arkansas, I'll have to admit that, and there's a company that's on I-40 that you go by, and it starts with an R and ends with an N, starts Remington, so to speak,
yes.
And then like that. You guys, tell our listeners the testing before a product comes on the market.
Oh, absolutely. So one of the things we're a member of SAMI, the Sporting Arms Manufacturing Institute, and they have guidelines. And one of the things that we do is we make sure our products meet or exceed every one of the guidelines they set forth for pressure, velocity, at certain temperatures, 0 degrees Fahrenheit, ambient room temperature, 125 degrees, and then we do a significant amount of pattern testing, even in those different temperature spectrums, to make sure it's going to perform to your expectations in the field. Not everyone hunts when it's 70 degrees out. You're going to be hunting in the cold. You're going to be hunting in the warm weather. We want our products to perform for you, so we do spend a lot of time in the lab testing our loads, not only to make sure that they're consistent, but they're delivering patterns. Our velocity is on our steel. There's technology available to make it faster. We feel that right now our fast steel is loaded to optimal velocities to give you consistent patterns. We could push it faster, but you wouldn't like the patterns in the field, and at that point it doesn't make any sense. So we really look at what's optimal for field conditions. And
we're talking to Jeff Berry. He's Sales and Marketing Director for Kent Cartridge, and I've got to ask you now. 14 years at Cabela's. Did you really live in Sidney?
I did. I lived for 14 years in Sidney, Nebraska.
And it never gets cold in Sidney.
It gets brutally cold and brutally hot.
The wind never blows in Sidney, So.
Oh yeah, and never stops.
I don't know if you know my good friend Tony Dolly, who spent a lot of time at Cabela's, and I happened to visit Sidney one time when I was out west, and I asked him, which way is the wind blowing today? He said, well, give me a couple hours and I'll let you know, because it'll switch around when you get to Sidney and Laramie and Cheyenne and all that area. Anybody that's survived 14 years in Sidney, I hats off to you. So you've got that experience and everything. Jeff, thank you for being with us this morning on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Keep us in touch. Information source, and my good friend Kevin Howard, Howard Communications, one of the best in the business, buddy. at taking care of his clients. I can tell you that for a fact. So
absolutely, certainly enjoyed being on this morning, Larry, and good luck to everyone out in the field this morning.
All right, if they're using Kent, they better be good. Okay.
You bet.
Yeah. All right, thank you. All right, Jeff Berry of Kent Cartridge, and I was kind of fascinated by that because of the testing that they have to do and the things like that. Some of it's really top secret. They don't let anything out. I mean, he's telling me they got something for 2019, but,
all those manufacturers are doing a really good job. I think Kent, sort of blazed the trail, and then some other people have been following up, trying to catch up.
Yeah.
And I know initially when we were shooting lead shot forever, and then the mandate came down that
I didn't realize
the federal government said thou shalt shoot steel.
Yeah.
And we started shooting steel, and we were just so dissatisfied. We were convinced that we were crippling more birds and losing more birds with steel shot than we ever could have damaged with lead poisoning and stuff that was going on. And
he said that was in the late 80s. Isn't that what he said?
1980s is when we started.
It seemed like yesterday.
Well,
30
I know
years.
it, but I can remember we would fuss. And
I wrote about it so much.
We would get upset, but now, there's some loads out there. Between the loads that are out there and the choke tubes that are out there, we're killing ducks. We're shooting ducks as far away now as we used to.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how far that is, but I'm not going to ask what your limit is. High ducks and things along that line. No. Anyway.
It's a lot better now.
It's a lot better now. But it was pretty feisty back in those days.
We hated it. We would fuss.
That was before I knew you, but I could imagine.
We would fuss and discuss and cuss all morning long.
That was in every duck blind there ever was.
Yep.
All right.
Of course, it was never our shooting was the problem. It was always the loads.
It was the ammunition.
It was the ammunition.
It was an ammunition. Right. Yeah. Well, it's not anymore, supposedly. All right, let's take a break, come right back, and it's that time. Guy will have to open the door for her as she comes into the room, and she will probably go straight to Guy and start that dance that she does when she comes in here once a month. Yeah, it is. So we'll be right back, and the one and only Marty Marbury will join us and talk West Tennessee tourism on Outdoors with Larry Ray.